Take a closer look to see exactly what a real prospect in boxing looks like. And when you do that, you have to imagine a fighter such as Diego Pacheco. This young man just fought on Friday night, July 7th. And he is coming on in the super middleweight division. This young man is 22 years old. He's 6'4", with nearly an 80-inch reach. And he's in that super middleweight division. Yeah. So what is on the horizon at super middleweight? I can tell you one thing. Some exciting fights may be in the cards. So let's talk about Diego Pacheco. Even a broken clock is correct twice a day. Yeah. So here we're talking about Matchroom Boxing and what they have going on at super middleweight. They just lost their golden child, Canelo Alvarez, as he elected to jump ship and go sign a 3-fight deal with the PBC. But in the interim, they have a couple of other fighters that are young enough in the super middleweight division that may make a little bit of noise. One of them happens to be Diego Pacheco. As I said, he's 22 years old, and he's trained, I believe, by Jose Benavidez Sr. So he's in that Benavidez camp where there is some top-notch, top-of-the-sport type of teaching going on there, seeing that the Benavidez brothers have both been involved at the championship level. And David being a 2-time super middleweight champion himself. But Mr. Pacheco brings a different type of thing to that division. And it's not just the height. It's what he's been able to show in his most recent fights. And his most recent fight was a humdinger of a fight. July 7th, he took on Manuel Gallegos, whose record now is 19-2-1 with 16 KOs. And in this bout, Pacheco knocked Gallegos down with a serious left-handed body shot in round 4. And only moments later, he was able to end the fight by throwing a series of shots that had the referee, Sergio Hernandez, stepping in and waving it off because the failed Gallegos was in serious trouble. The left hook to the body that dropped him was the type of punch we've seen classic left hook punchers throw, the likes of Tommy Morrison, Julio Cesar Chavez, Joe Frazier. And this man is 6'4". Now Gallegos was 6'3". So the two of them were like two dinosaurs in the super middleweight division facing off against one another. And this was a fight that saw Pacheco be challenged because Gallegos started the fight off pursuing and applying pressure, throwing a volume of punches, putting Diego not necessarily on the back foot, but making him aware that he had to be cautious in dealing with this fighter, and he began to show the skill set that he has developed. Good jabs, some striking lead right hands, and I believe as he had returned to the corner after the second round, his trainer was telling him he needed to mix in some more body shots. Something that I have felt that watching the fight, I'm like, I would like to see this kid mix in more body shots. And that's exactly what happened. But not before he showed the wherewithal to be able to strike and land certain shots that Gallegos was open for. Lead right hands that were striking with precision. And it set up the left hook to the body. That, my friends, is what I call ring IQ. Because Pacheco, who had noticed that Gallegos was starting to see those right hands, he wasn't seeing them at first. But when he stepped over and dropped that left hook to the body and Gallegos dropped to the canvas, I sat up in my chair and I said, whoa! The fight was over at that moment. But what I really liked was the calm and the confidence that Pacheco showed during the fight. This was not an easy opponent for him to take out. Manuel Gallegos was from Sinaloa, Mexico, and there's some pretty tough fighters that have come through the pipeline from that area. But it was his calm under fire, his ability to circle the ring, and they were in the ring that was only like a 16-foot ring. It was very small for these two big, tall guys. But he showed savvy. He showed intelligence and power. I was very impressed by what I was able to see from his performance. And now he is 19-0 with 16 KOs. And when he was asked in the post-fight, who would he like to face next? He spoke of being able to fight any of the contending fighters out there that are near the championship level. We do know that Canelo is the undisputed champion. So in the interim, Diego's going to have to find other challenges. But I do believe at the rate that he is growing, meaning in his abilities, he's going to be formidable and one to look at starting next year. And wouldn't you know, Matchroom has brought in someone that may be an opponent for him next year. Edgar Berlanga, who recently signed and fought his first fight under Matchroom. Now this would be a very interesting bout going into next year, maybe summer of next year. And I have to say that a fighter like Berlanga may be tailor-made for Diego. Though Berlanga started his career off with a series of knockouts in the first round, as his competition improved, he seemed to hit a stalemate. And the thing about it is, in boxing, your psyche has to be strong. Berlanga has already showed, and I've talked about this, he'll bite you, literally, in the ring. There's a glitch there. There's something wrong there. And I believe if they put him in there with Pacheco anytime before the end of this year, it could end very badly. I think he needs more fights under his belt to get his act together. But in the interim, I could see Pacheco growing by leaps and bounds and becoming the type of fighter that boxing would line up to see, because he's exciting, he's skillful, he's smart, he's intelligent, and there's just something about that size in that weight class. Canelo would never fight this young man. And coming out of the camp with David Benavidez, you have to know that he's getting some pretty good training and sparring there. So what's next? Who knows? But I couldn't wait to see this kid again, and he is definitely one to keep an eye out for. Diego Pacheco really impressed me over his last couple of fights. And when he fought last, it was in the UK. So he is accustomed now to traveling. And that's very significant, because a lot of the fighters don't like to travel. They want to stay home. They want to stay in their own backyards. And Matchroom seemed to hit a jackpot in signing this young man. He's been under their umbrella for a little while now, but he is growing by leaps and bounds. And I have to say that the impression that he's leaving on the sport is very impressive. What do you think? This is Stormy B-Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what your thoughts are about Diego Pacheco, and how do you see things shaking out for him in the near future. He's still a prospect at this moment, but not for long. That record of 19-0 and 16 KOs is going to increase in knockouts and victories, because I believe this young man is a student of the game as well. He fights like a more experienced fighter, and that's something to see and something to be respected. But you can leave comments and let me know what you think about Diego, and is he impressing you? Peace to everyone out there, and everyone please remain safe.